They say action, and I turn around and I go, holy shit!
From a real mom accidentally throwing away a priceless movie prop to an actor's daily struggle to breathe, creating an unforgettable character, these weren't planned movie moments. They were life happening in front of the camera. These are the 12 happy accidents that helped create one of the most beloved films ever made. Some started before the cameras even rolled. Number 1. You know the most iconic moment in the film? That belly-jiggling, embarrassing dance Chunk does for the Fratellis? It wasn't in the script. When Jeff Cohen, the actor who played Chunk, was auditioning, director Richard Donner asked him to do a dance. Cohen was a little nervous, but he spontaneously broke out what would become the Truffle Shuffle on the spot. It was such a strange, unforgettable, and perfectly Chunk moment that Donner immediately wrote it into the movie. That kind of spontaneous, unscripted authenticity is what makes the Goonies legendary. The Truffle Shuffle was all about spontaneous performance. But sometimes, the pursuit of authenticity meant the actors had to go through a little real-life pain. In the case of the Fratellis, that pain was very, very real. Number 2. Movie slaps usually involve clever camera angles and fake sound effects, but the scenes where Mama Fratelli disciplines her son Jake took a much more brutal approach. The script called for some physical comedy, but actor Robert Davey, Jake, had a better idea. He convinced director Richard Donner to let Ann Ramsey, Mama Fratelli, actually hit him. The director wanted the genuine shock and pain on Davey's face, and he got it. Each take meant another real hit.
I'll show you.
That commitment to realism created some of the most believable, raw family dysfunction ever put on screen. Sometimes directors go to extreme lengths to capture authentic moments from their actors. Number 3. Richard Donner pulled off the most genuine reaction in movie history by keeping his young actors completely in the dark. Donner wanted the kids' first glimpse of One-Eyed Willie's pirate ship to feel totally authentic, so he made sure none of them saw it before filming. We're talking about a massive 105-foot pirate ship here that took 2.5 months to build, and these kids had no clue what was waiting for them. When the cameras rolled, and the kids walked into that cavern for the first time, they were seeing this incredible ship with their own eyes. Josh Brolin immediately let an expletive slip, and it wasn't in the script. Think about it. You're expecting to act amazed, but then you actually are amazed. The crew had to do a retake because of the swearing, but that second take still carried the same authentic wonder from the first reaction. You can see it in their faces. Their jaws drop for real. Their eyes go wide for real. Donner's gamble paid off big time. By hiding the ship from his cast, he accidentally captured the exact feeling every audience member has when they see it for the first time. You know that moment when something on screen makes you go whoa without thinking? That's what happened here. The best movie magic happens when cameras catch real human moments instead of manufactured ones. But real discomfort on camera can create magic too. Number 4. Jeff Cohen, who played Chunk, was genuinely miserable during some of the most crucial filming weeks. Cohen came down with chickenpox, which meant he was covered in uncomfortable, itchy spots. He was so terrified that the production would replace him if he called in sick that he showed up to set every day anyway, chickenpox and all. The production schedule couldn't wait, so the makeup team had to work around his spots, constantly covering them up while he was performing. Cohen had to deliver his lines while fighting the urge to scratch, which is basically impossible for a kid. This real-life discomfort actually enhanced Chunk's nervous, fidgety energy throughout the film. If you look closely during the Truffle Shuffle scene, you can actually see the red spots on his chest. What could have derailed the production instead gave Chunk an authentic, relatable vulnerability that audiences connected with immediately. Number 5. The crew had to get resourceful when the script called for a swarm of bats to chase the kids through the caves. The production didn't have money for elaborate puppets or special effects. We're talking about a major bat attack scene here, and they had basically no cash to pull it off. So what did they do? They got creative with whatever they could find. Their solution was brilliantly simple. Black bow ties and wads of black papier-mâché blown out of air cannons to simulate a bat swarm. Yeah, you heard that right, bow ties. The kind you wear to fancy dinners. The low-tech approach actually worked better than expensive effects might have. When you're getting pelted with random objects flying at you from different directions, your natural reaction is to duck and panic.
You better run. These winged things are not much fun.
That's exactly what happened to the kids. Their reactions to getting hit with bow ties and paper created authentic fear responses that sold the illusion completely. You can see real surprise and genuine get this stuff off me energy in their faces. The chaos was real even if the bats weren't. This budget-friendly hack accidentally proved that practical creativity often beats expensive technology when it comes to scaring audiences. Sometimes the best movie magic comes from making something out of nothing. Number 6. John Matuszak endured 5 hours of daily rigorous process to bring Sloth to life, and it left him genuinely struggling to breathe. Creating Sloth's look required an elaborate makeup process that began before dawn and involved layers of heavy prosthetics and masks.
Here, this guy had been in the makeup for 5 hours, never said a thing. He said, "Do I have to do this again?" I said, "I'm afraid." I think he'd kill the kids. Oh my God, look at this.
This full facial transformation basically turned Matuszak into a prisoner of his own costume, severely restricting his vision and breathing. He could only see through one eye, and one of Sloth's eyes was even mechanically operated by remote control, requiring Matuszak to perfectly time his own blinking. His labored breathing and careful movements weren't just character choices, they were necessary adaptations to survive in the costume. Matuszak's struggle accidentally created Sloth's lumbering gait and vulnerable presence, giving the character an authentic, touching charm that a perfect costume couldn't have achieved. But Matuszak wasn't the only one dealing with unsettling elements on set. Some props created their own kind of discomfort that had nothing to do with makeup. Number 7. One-Eyed Willie's remains sparked rumors that had everyone on set genuinely unsettled. The production needed a convincing skull for the pirate captain's skeleton, and the prop department found what they thought was a realistic fake. You know how movie props usually look obviously fake up close? Well, this one didn't. Word started spreading around set that the skull they were using might actually be real human remains rather than a movie prop. Some claimed it belonged to a man who died of lead poisoning, but nobody could confirm if that was true or just another Hollywood legend. While it was never confirmed, cast members became genuinely uncomfortable around the prop, which added authentic unease to their performances in the treasure chamber. When actors are genuinely creeped out, it shows on camera. You can't fake that kind of nervous energy. The uncertainty around One-Eyed Willie's skull accidentally gave the pirate ship scenes a genuinely haunted feeling. Nobody ever got a straight answer about whether it was real or fake, which made it even creepier. Sometimes not knowing the truth behind a prop makes it more effective than any special effect. But while that skull's origins remained a mystery, another crucial prop from the movie would meet a fate that was all too clear. Number 8. Sean Astin's treasure map met the most ordinary end imaginable. After filming Wrapped, Astin kept the original map as a memento from what he knew would be a special movie experience. You know how actors sometimes take home props from their favorite projects? Well, Astin definitely wanted this one.
What are you doing? Hey, Mike found the map!
The map had been carefully aged with coffee and real blood to look like an authentic centuries-old document, making it a genuine piece of movie history. Production designer J. Michael Riva actually cut his finger and dripped his own blood on it when they ran out of red paint. The prop department had spent time making this thing look old and weathered. It was stained, cracked, and looked exactly like something a pirate might have drawn hundreds of years ago. Astin treasured the prop and brought it home, but he didn't account for one thing: his mom's cleaning habits. Patty Duke, not realizing the significance of what looked like old stained paper, threw the map away during a routine house cleaning. She probably thought it was trash. By the time Astin realized what had happened, the prop that launched 1,000 treasure hunts was sitting in a landfill somewhere. The treasure map that sent the Goonies on their greatest adventure accidentally ended up on its own journey to the dump. Sometimes the most valuable movie artifacts disappear in the most ordinary ways possible. One mom's spring cleaning accidentally erased a piece of cinema history. Number 9. Getting genuine, heartbreaking tears from a young actor during the stressful interrogation scene is nearly impossible. But director Richard Donner found a surprising, intense method. The script called for Chunk to break down emotionally and confess his lies to the Fratellis, but Jeff Cohen couldn't cry on command. To help him out, Donner reportedly allowed the actors, specifically Joe Pantoliano or Robert Davi, accounts differ, to use a shocking trick. They would discreetly tug on Cohen's hair on the back of his neck to elicit genuine tears of pain and distress. This physical nudge, combined with Cohen's own mental preparation,
Hid the puke in my jacket, climbed up to the balcony, and then...
created the raw, authentic sobbing you see on screen. When you watch that scene, the distress on Chunk's face is completely real, making his confession feel heartbreakingly honest rather than performed. This extreme measure was taken to capture an authentic emotional truth that became one of the scene's most memorable elements. Number 10. A deleted scene created one of the most famous movie mistakes that fans still argue about decades later. The original script included a massive scene where the kids fight off a giant octopus in the underwater caverns, and it was actually filmed with a full creature puppet. During editing, the octopus sequence was cut from the final film to improve pacing. But nobody caught an important detail. Data's line referencing the octopus fight was left in the movie, creating a hilarious continuity error where he mentioned something that never happened on screen. When Data says the octopus was really scary at the end, audiences are left scratching their heads like, what octopus? Did I miss something? This simple editing oversight accidentally created decades of fan theories and made the movie feel like it had hidden depths, proving that sometimes the most intriguing parts of a story are the ones that got left on the cutting room floor. But editing mistakes weren't the only lasting impact. Some locations from the movie would face their own unexpected consequences long after the camera stopped rolling. Number 11. The Walsh family home turned into Oregon's biggest unintended attraction, creating real problems for whoever lived there. The production used a real house in Astoria, Oregon for the Walsh family scenes, thinking it would just be another filming location. You know how movies usually film at houses and then everyone moves on? Well, that's not what happened here. After the movie became a cult classic, fans started making pilgrimages to the house, taking photos, and recreating scenes on the property. The homeowners found themselves dealing with constant visitors, tour groups, and people treating their private residence like a theme park. Can you imagine trying to eat breakfast while strangers are outside your window taking selfies? What started as occasional fans stopping by turned into a full-scale tourism problem that disrupted the neighborhood for decades. We're talking about 1,200 to 1,500 visitors daily during summer months. People would knock on the door asking to come inside. Some fans even tried to recreate the attic scenes right there on the lawn.
Once off limit to fans, it's now a treasure to find on any Goonie map.
Seeing them with our own eyes is incredible. Really great.
The situation got so out of hand that the city had to close the house road to tours in 2015 because the crowds became completely unmanageable. They literally had to make rules because too many people wanted to see where Mikey lived. The mayor even declared June 7th as official Goonies Day in Astoria, showing how the movie's impact became permanently woven into the city's identity. A simple location choice accidentally turned someone's private home into a permanent piece of movie history they couldn't escape. The owners probably thought they'd have some cool stories to tell. Instead, they got decades of strangers camping out on their front yard. But while some movie magic happened by accident, other memorable moments came from actors who trusted their instincts in the moment. Number 12. The final moment between Sloth and Chunk, which provides the emotional payoff for their entire friendship, was completely unscripted. After Chunk saves Sloth from the Fratellis, the script originally had a simple exchange between them. However, in the heat of the moment, the actors, John Matuzak, Sloth, and Jeff Cohen, Chunk, decided to go off script.
You're gonna live with me now.
This spontaneous act of affection wasn't planned by the writers or the director, but it perfectly captured the true emotional bond that had developed between the two characters throughout their adventure. That iconic, heartfelt moment, a gentle giant embracing his friend, became the film's single most touching scene, and a perfect end to their arc. The most legendary movies aren't built from perfect planning. They're born from real people having genuine moments in front of cameras. From actors getting actually hurt to props ending up in the trash, The Goonies became iconic because life kept interrupting the script in the best possible ways. Next time you watch it, remember that every laugh, every tear, and every swear word that slipped out came from people who were just trying to make something special and accidentally made something legendary instead. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if we missed any of your favorite unscripted moments, drop a comment below and tell us which movie we should cover next.